All right, today we're diving into a power that honestly shapes just about everything. Success, overcoming insane odds, fueling our biggest wins. And the craziest part, it's a force you can't buy. You can only grow it from the inside. So let's get right into it. So I want you to think about this for a second. What's the one power that you can't buy with money and that hardship just can't defeat? I mean, you can have all the resources in the world, huge armies, tons of cash, the best tech, and all of that can still fail you. But there's this one thing, this one internal force that can stand up to literally any challenge. Any guesses what it is? Well, the answer actually comes from an ancient concept. In Sanskrit, it's called jivanutsaha, which basically means enthusiasm for life. And look, this isn't just about being in a good mood or feeling happy. No, this is way deeper. It's a driving force that just refuses to quit. The real heart of this idea is captured in one single powerful word, anurveda. And what it means is a state of, well, non-despair. It's that spirit that gets knocked down 10 times and gets back up 11. It's the mindset that looks at defeat and says, nope, not today. It's that unshakable fire inside you. And this leads us to a really core principle, anirvana shriyo moolam. Now, this isn't just some feel-good quote. It's a radical idea. It's saying that enthusiasm isn't something you get after you're successful or happy. No, it's the other way around. Enthusiasm is the root cause of all fortune and happiness. It's where it all starts. Okay, so that sounds great in theory, right? But how does this actually work in the real world? Let's look at some incredible stories of how this one single power allows people to win, even when everything, and I mean everything, is stacked against them. I mean, just look at this classic example, the epic battle between Rama and Ravana. On paper, this is a total mismatch. You've got Ravana with all the bells and whistles, a golden chariot, a mighty fortress, a huge, powerful army. And then you have Rama on foot with an army of monkeys. Seriously. But who won? Rama. So why? Because his most powerful weapon wasn't a sword or a bow. It was that unbreakable enthusiasm, his anavirya. And hey, this isn't just stuff from ancient myths. Let's fast forward to Napoleon Bonaparte. Picture this. His army has just suffered a huge defeat. His ministers are crushed. They're ready to throw in the towel. So what does Napoleon do? In the middle of the night, he gathers them all together, points up at the sky, and basically says, my destiny is still up there in those stars. And just that one single act of pure, defiant enthusiasm, it lit a fire under everyone and completely turned their campaign around. But, this power isn't just reserved for epic battles or famous generals. It gets even more intense when we look at deeply personal stories. Let's see how this same force can become a literal matter of life and death when someone is facing an unbelievable tragedy. Okay, so here's a story about an American businessman. This guy had lost it all. He was buried in debt, just completely crushed, and he saw absolutely no way out. He'd reached the end of his rope. He goes to a train station, deciding to end his life. You can't get much lower than that. And right at that moment, a stranger walks up to him, listens to his story, and then does something incredible. He writes him a check for $500,000, and he says, I'm John D. Rockefeller. Take this and meet me right here 1 year from today to pay me back. Now here's where it gets really amazing. The businessman, he never cashed that check. He took it, locked it away in his safe, and just knowing he had that safety net gave him this huge surge of confidence. He went back out there and completely rebuilt his business, even bigger and better than before. So a year goes by, he goes back to the station, check in hand, ready to repay his debt. And he finds out that the man he thought was Rockefeller was actually an escaped patient from a nearby mental hospital. The check was a fake, the money was never real. But that spark of enthusiasm it gave him, that was 100% real. That's what changed everything. And if you think that's incredible, listen to the story of Arunima Sinha. This woman was a national volleyball player in India. Then, a horrific tragedy. She's thrown from a moving train by thieves. To save her life, doctors had to amputate her leg. Now just imagine that, lying in a hospital bed, having lost your leg, your athletic career seemingly over. What do? She makes a vow. From that hospital bed, she decides she's going to climb Mount Everest. And she does it. She becomes the world's first female amputee to climb the highest mountain on Earth. Her enthusiasm wasn't just despite her tragedy, it was forged because of it. When she went to get advice from Bachendri Paul, the very first Indian woman to climb Everest,
Paul said something so powerful to her. She said, "You have already climbed the Everest within you. The external one is just a matter of time." And wow, that just perfectly captures what we're talking about, right? The real mountain, it's the one inside your own head. Once you conquer that with your spirit, with your enthusiasm, the physical mountains, they're just a matter of putting one foot in front of the other.
So, after hearing all that, the big question is, what does this mean for you and me? How do we actually find this inner fire and use it in our own lives?
Look, here's the bottom line. The takeaway from all these stories is pretty clear. Enthusiasm isn't just a mood, it's not passive, it's an active force. It's the real root of all good fortune. It's the thing that can make a lack of resources totally irrelevant. It can create real value out of nothing but pure belief. And maybe most powerfully, it lets us transform our absolute worst moments into our greatest triumphs.
And so, that brings us to a final question for you to think about. We all have our own challenges, right? Our own personal Everests that we have to climb. What these stories teach us is that the power to get to the summit, it's already inside of us. So the only real question left is, what's your Everest? And how are you going to unleash this incredible power of enthusiasm to go out and conquer it?